Hello everyone, welcome to today's story. Have you ever had to choose between love and letting go? What if the person you love is fighting something you can't see? Tonight, we dive into the story of Alex and Tu Na, two souls caught in the web of love, fear, and impossible choices. Will Alex's love be enough to break through the walls Tu Na has built? Or will her darkest secret tear them apart forever? Stay tuned and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're just a step away from reaching 10,000 followers, and your support means the world. What do you think will happen next? Let us know in the comments. The morning sun gently breaks through the clouds, casting a soft light across the farm. The sound of Alex's car tires crunching on the gravel fills the air as he pulls into the driveway, his heart racing. The farm looks the same, yet different, like a piece of his past he's returning to, unsure if it still belongs to him. He steps out of the car and walks slowly towards the house, each step heavy with hesitation. When he reaches the door, he pauses for a moment, hearing the baby's cries from inside. Then there's something else, a silence hanging in the air, as if something is wrong. Tu Na opens the door. She smiles, but it's the kind of smile that doesn't reach her eyes. There's a weariness there, an exhaustion that Alex can't ignore. Tu Na? Alex's voice is soft, almost cautious. He steps inside, glancing around the room. How are you? Everything okay? Her smile falters, and she motions for him to sit. Yes, Alex, everything's fine, she answers quickly, but the tremor in her voice betrays her. Alex's gaze shifts to the baby, peacefully asleep in the corner. Then he looks back at Tu Na. Something about her, the way she moves, the way she holds herself, tells him that something is wrong, something deeper than the weight of motherhood. I've been worried, Alex says softly. I came back to check on you. I'm fine, she replies, but the walls she's built around herself are evident. Later that day, Alex's sister arrives at the farm, her presence filling the quiet space that lingers between Alex and Tu Na. She watches the two of them for a moment, noticing the unspoken tension in the air. She knows something is off, something deeper than the usual small talk. After a few moments of silence, she decides to approach Tu Na with the questions that have been gnawing at her mind. Tu Na, she begins, sitting down beside her with a soft but probing look in her eyes. Alex seems to care for you more than just as a friend. But is it really just care, or is there something else? Tu Na flinches at the question. Her gaze drops to the floor, her mind racing as she tries to find the right words. But nothing comes. She knows that the truth she holds inside her is a burden, one she isn't ready to share, especially not now. Her hands tremble slightly as she speaks, her voice barely a whisper. I don't know, Tu Na answers hesitantly. Alex has always been kind to me, but I think he sees me differently than I am. I don't want him to pity me, and I don't want to give him hope that I can be what he wants. Alex's sister observes her closely, noticing the hurt in Tu Na's voice. She knows this is more than just about Alex's feelings. It's about something deeper. She places a comforting hand on Tu Na's shoulder, speaking softly. But do you care for him, Tu Na? Tu Na's chest tightens, the question weighing heavily on her. She swallows hard, her emotions swirling inside her. She can't deny it. The truth is there, but she knows the circumstances would never allow it to happen. She nods, her voice catching in her throat. Yes. I care, but I can't give him what he deserves. The next morning, Tu wakes up with a feeling of dread gnawing at her stomach. The fever from the previous night has not subsided, and the cold sweats are back. She tries to shake it off, but the heaviness in her chest is unmistakable. With a quiet resolve, she knows she cannot ignore it any longer. She needs to see the doctor. Alex, still concerned for her, insists on accompanying her to the clinic. But Tu, despite the physical discomfort, brushes him off gently. She doesn't want him to see the full extent of her illness, doesn't want him to see the inevitable despair in her eyes. At the clinic, the doctor takes one look at her pale, weakened frame and immediately insists on running tests. The sterile smell of the room fills Tuna's nostrils as she sits, her heart racing with each passing moment. The doctor, a calm, middle-aged man, looks at her sympathetically before giving her the news. Tuna, I'm afraid you have a severe condition. It's a serious illness, the doctor says, his voice measured but filled with quiet concern. The world seems to tilt on its axis. The words are a blur, but the meaning is clear. Tuna's body goes cold as she stares blankly ahead. For a moment, the room feels too small, and she struggles to breathe. She thinks of Alex, of the future she had imagined, the life she dreamed of, all slipping through her fingers like sand. She knows, without a doubt, that she cannot drag him into this. I understand, she says softly, her voice distant, and she leaves the doctor's office, a heavy weight now resting on her chest. That evening, Alex takes a deep breath, his heart pounding as he stands in front of Tuna. He's been holding this moment in for so long, unsure of how to express the feelings that have grown inside him. The farm feels quieter than usual tonight, the air thick with unspoken words. He looks at her, and everything else fades. Tuna. His voice is steady but full of emotion. I've been thinking about this for a while now. I care about you, more than you know. I want to be with you, help you, support you. Will you marry me? His words hang in the air, hanging on the delicate thread of hope and vulnerability. His heart races as he watches her, waiting for her answer, afraid of what her silence might mean. Tuna stands frozen, her eyes wide with surprise. Her pulse quickens as the weight of his words settles on her, the fear gripping her chest. She wants to say yes. Oh, how she wants to, her heart aching with the possibility of a life where they can be together. But then, reality crashes in like a wave she cannot escape. Tears prick at the corners of her eyes, and she struggles to speak, her throat tightening with the rawness of it all. Alex, I can't. I'm not the person you think I am, she whispers, her voice trembling. I'm not what you deserve. Alex's face drops, confusion flooding his features. What are you talking about? He asks, his voice a mix of hurt and concern. I have a disease, she says softly, her voice barely audible. I can't give you what you want. I'm not well, Alex. I can't drag you into this. The silence between them stretches, heavy with the weight of her rejection. Alex stands there, stunned, unable to process the pain that now fills his chest. Tuna looks away, her heart breaking. She wishes she could be the woman he deserves. After Tuna's rejection, the house falls into a quiet tension, the air thick with unsaid words and unresolved emotions. Alex stands at the edge of the room, staring at the floor, his heart racing in his chest. He doesn't know how to process what just happened. All he knows is that his world has shifted in a way he can't understand. Tuna's refusal stings more than anything he's ever felt before. He's torn between the love he's always had for her and the pain of being pushed away. Tuna, on the other hand, feels as though the world has come crashing down around her. She walks slowly to the window, her hands resting against the cool glass, staring out at the dark sky. The rain has started to fall, steady and relentless, as though mirroring the torrent of emotions inside her. Her heart aches with the decision she's just made, but she knows it's the only choice she can make. She can't let Alex into a life that's already slipping from her grasp. The weight of her illness hangs over her, its shadow stretching into every corner of her life. And she feels a deep loneliness settle within her. She's not ready to face the truth, not ready to let go of the fragile hope that has kept her going for so long. A knock at the door snaps her out of her thoughts. She wipes her eyes quickly, trying to hide the vulnerability she feels. When she opens the door, it's Alex, standing in the doorway, drenched from the rain. His eyes are filled with something, an emotion she can't quite name, but it's clear he hasn't left yet. "I'm staying," Alex says, his voice steady despite the turmoil inside. "I'm not leaving you. Not now, not ever. I'll be here for you, Tuna." She looks at him, her heart heavy with a mixture of relief and sorrow. The days that follow are filled with a quiet, unspoken understanding between Alex and Tuna. The rain continues to pour down, but the storm inside Tuna feels even more intense. She can feel Alex's presence beside her, always there, offering her support without demanding anything in return. He helps with the chores on the farm, takes care of the baby, and never once brings up the conversation they had, until one evening, when the silence between them becomes too heavy to bear. Tuna sits on the porch, the cool evening breeze tousling her hair. Her thoughts are scattered, and she finds herself looking out at the fields as the sky begins to darken. Alex comes outside, a hesitant look on his face as he stands next to her. His eyes are searching hers, as if trying to find the right words to say. "Tuna," he starts, his voice low. "I know you've been pushing me away, and I understand why, but I need you to know something." He pauses, as if gathering his thoughts, unsure of how to put his feelings into words. Tuna's heart beats faster. She doesn't want to hear what he's about to say, because she already knows. It's something she can't give him, not in the way he deserves. She turns to face him, her eyes brimming with unshed tears. "I know about your illness," Alex says, his voice filled with a quiet sorrow. "And I don't care. I don't care about the future or what might happen. I care about you. Right now, I want to be with you, Tuna. Even if it's just for today, I want you to know that I'll be here." Tuna feels the ground beneath her shift. Her walls, the ones she had built so carefully to protect both herself and Alex, begin to crumble. She feels the weight of his words settle on her chest, and for the first time in a long while, she feels the possibility of hope. But it's too much, too overwhelming. "I can't," she whispers, her voice breaking. "I can't let you suffer because of me." Alex steps closer, his hand gently reaching out to her. "It's not suffering if it's with you. Please, Tuna, don't push me away." The tension between them lingers in the air, palpable, like the thunderclouds that hang heavy in the sky. Tuna stands there, her heart racing in her chest. Alex's words are like a lifeline thrown to her, but she's too afraid to grab it. Her mind is torn, her heart a battlefield of fear and longing. She wants to reach for him, to let herself be loved. But the weight of her illness presses down on her, pulling her away. "Alex," she says softly, her voice trembling. I can't let you be part of this. I'm not the woman you think I am. I'm broken, and I don't want you to carry that burden." Alex's eyes never leave hers, his gaze steady and unwavering. "I don't see you as broken," he says, his voice firm yet tender. "I see you as strong, as someone who has fought every day. I want to fight alongside you, Tuna. Whatever comes, I want to be here, with you." The words cut through her, deeper than any wound, because they are the truth she's been too afraid to face. She wants to say yes, to give in to the warmth of his embrace, to let him carry some of the burden she's been holding alone. But the fear is too overwhelming. The fear of losing him, the fear of being too much for him to handle. Tears well up in her eyes, but she doesn't let them fall. She turns away, walking to the edge of the porch, staring out into the rain. The sound of it is deafening, as though it's washing away everything, including the last of her resistance. "I wish I could," she whispers, her voice breaking. "But I can't. I can't put you through this. It's not fair." Alex steps closer, placing a hand gently on her shoulder. She doesn't pull away. Instead, she lets herself feel his warmth, the comfort of his presence. "I'll wait for you," Alex says softly. "No matter how long it takes. I'm not going anywhere." For the first time in days, Tuna lets herself breathe, even if it's only for a moment. There's still so much fear, so much uncertainty. But for the first time, there's also a glimmer of hope. The future may be uncertain, but in this moment, they are together, and that's enough. And there we have it, a love story caught between hope and heartache. Will Alex and Tuna find a way to be together, or will the weight of secrets keep them apart? Only time will tell. If you've enjoyed this emotional journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We're so close to hitting 10,000 followers, and your support makes all the difference. What do you think will happen next in their story? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take care, and remember, love sometimes requires the toughest choices.